Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I guess I was right again. Why? Well, I don't know. Maybe the dynamics are so obvious that you know what the next move would be, or how someone would react in a certain circumstance. Why? Because the same person reacted in kind of the same way in kind of the same circumstances. And if you pay attention and if you make some patterns, then you understand. It's not very hard. You can predict things with an accuracy of about, I would say, 95%, or maybe 90, between 90 and 95. In this case, I made a video, if you remember. If you don't, I let you know, on the 1st of December, when Zelensky, he fired Yermak. And this was the video titled Why/How Yermak was fired. Yermak yelled at Zelensky, West is rebranding Zelensky for post-war elections. And here I said, how the cause, quote unquote, eliminated Yermak. So, why was Yermak eliminated? Well, I made some claims in that video. I'm not going to make them again, but one of the claims was the cause keep the ideal, the cause, the idea going regardless of who's pushing it or who's hired to push it. Why? They want now to continue dominating the Ukrainian nation by what? By corruption? No. They rebrand Mr. Zelensky into being a uncorruptible person, like Mr. what's his name, Mr. Guillotine guy, remember him? Yes, Robespierre, remember Robespierre? Yeah, he couldn't be corrupted, and then he ended up under the guillotine himself. Look at the French Revolution, for instance, and afterwards, the Great Terror, Robespierre's Great Terror. So, here, Zelensky, I think, is rebranding himself, and he had to make this decision. He was pushed by others. Some people say he was ordered. Why? And I'm going to show you why. The people have to follow him. But if he appears to be a corrupt individual, he will lose credibility. And you need a little bit of credibility with a certain strata of the society. And I have here an article I saw a while ago, a few days ago, actually. When was this article? On the 1st, the same day. And this is what Zelensky says. And it's exactly, I think, what confirms that he is clean, but he is the defender and promoter of the Ukrainian nation's interests. Here is the article. It comes from Ukrinform, and it is from the 1st of December 2025. And this is the title, Zelensky on Yermak's resignation. I make decisions aimed at strengthening Ukraine. Oh my God. What does that mean? That means that, as Aristotle supposedly said about Plato, well, Plato is my friend. I love Plato, but I love truth even more. Ooh, that's exactly what's going on here. So Zelensky, who without Yermak wouldn't be where he is at in his, I think, even in his clown career. I'm sorry, in his comedy career. Remember, Mr. What's his name, Yermak, is like Mr. Weinstein, a producer in Ukraine, over the Ukrainian nation, because they don't own only Hollywood, they own also Ukrainehood. All right, so what do we have here? Or Ukrainewood? Zelensky's, so I made decisions aimed at strengthening Ukraine. So, for the Ukrainian nation, I would give my life. And for the Ukrainian nation, I will take everybody else, including the Ukrainians, to risk their lives for the Ukrainians. But I will be in charge. This is a cheap way of gaining credibility of the Ukrainian people who, if you remember, it was Zelensky himself who got them in the situation where they are. He could have avoided that, but no. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you don't? Oh, you know? Okay, I will say it anyway. Zelensky, who was channeled, doors opened, financed, promoted by people from outside and inside Ukraine, ran on a platform of peace. Peace with Russia, peace, and he's gonna bring everything A-OK. Now, Russia and Ukraine signed Minsk Agreements 1, 2014, and Minsk Agreements 2, 2015. In Minsk Agreement 2, you have two countries as guarantors, France and Germany. Remember, oh, Victoria, isn't that nice? Angela Merkel plus Hollande, the president of France at that time. And they guaranteed that they will make Ukraine great again. They will make the Ukrainian nation implement what was agreed upon in the Minsk agreements. It seems like they didn't since 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 22. But in 2021, Russia came to NATO and says, we need security guarantees. Remember what Zelensky, who was elected, said? I don't like anything in the Minsk agreements. Nothing. Therefore, I'm not going to, may I say, comply. So he immediately said, I don't like anything. But hey, he was the guy who's going to make peace with Russia. Maybe this is what he had in mind. Destroy Russia and we're going to have peace. With probably half of Ukrainian nation, you know what I mean, decimated. But hey, they're not my people. They are, goyim actually. I'm just kidding. You know what I mean. So here you have him. He sacrifices his family, his everything for you, my Ukrainian friends, for you. This is a cheap thing, and it's easy to figure things out. You just have to pay attention to the dynamics, and the dynamics are: this guy is a alien. He is in charge of your nation. He is making decisions based on orders from outside that would affect you negatively. Even if Ukraine wins, it will affect you negatively. Why? You are owned. Do you understand? That means the grip of ownership as vassalage will be getting tighter. Yes, they used you to destroy your cousins, the Russians. I'm just, anticipating or just giving you a scenario. But after that, what did you gain? You're gonna still be a vassal even more. So this is Zelensky. Zelensky is the one who got you in this. Oh yeah, Putin and all the evil Russians and blah, blah, blah. But he's the one. He's not saving you. And I predict, as I predicted in that video, that Zelensky eventually will say, you know what? I decide to resign. And after I decide, why? Because it strengthens Ukraine. And I think I fought the Russians up till here. And from here, someone else will take the torch of losing and an unconditional surrender. And that, I guarantee you, is not going to be Umerov, is not going to be Zmihal Stein, is going to be a Ukrainian, a Voloshchuk. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be even an Ov. It's not going to be Umerov. Umerov is Tatar. No, they will drop it on the Ukrainian nation. After they tried to save Ukrainian nation, they fail, half of it is gone, country destroyed. They will say, you know what? You take it now and you go out there and you sign the unconditional surrender. We humiliate you. You will humiliate yourselves. And the history books will not say that I signed your capitulation. Zelensky will not sign a capitulation. He will be like, no, I disagree with this. I'm a patriot. I can't, in good faith and with big heart, agree to this humiliation. But you can. Why? You're Ukrainian. And in the history books, it's going to be Sergei Valashchuk, to make it Ukrainian. Chuk at the end is usually Ukraine. Let's say whatever I said, Sergei Valashchuk. Valashchuk is going to be the signatory, and in the history books of his nation, he will be viewed as the humiliating puppet who agreed to give Russia Donbass and everything else. Why? Zelensky would have signed the same thing. It was not, he did not win. They did not win through him. That's the whole point. I guarantee you there's going to be. And Zelensky will be viewed as a Moses. But if you look at Moses, I want you to go and buy my books, right? God's Nature. You find them on Amazon, where I described based on their book, the Old Testament, the Torah, the analysis on their little verses over there, how many crimes, and I would claim genocide, the guy committed with Amorites, with Canaanites, with Phakorites, with Diklites, with all these guys over there, at the orders of the general, who was over there. Now the general is outside of Ukraine. It's the same thing, my friends, and the same people. And he, this baboon right here, not me, I'm a different kind of baboon. This, oh, we were black together. Oh, we're like blood brothers. Remember Iron Maiden song? Exactly. So he's gonna be venerated. He's gonna be the savior of the world. They're gonna build him statues in Ukraine unless the Russians took over everything. You're going to see this. Zelensky will be invited to speak, and he's going to be everywhere telling us secrets and big lies in the meantime, if he is allowed to live for a while. Why? I don't think the Russians will allow him. After this is gone, maybe the Ukrainian nationalists will visit him in one night and say, Zelensky Stein, how do you say you have to go to see Moses in Yiddish? Kakapipi, Moses, I think. Yeah, so Zelensky, kakapipi, Moses. Chichu. I suspect, unfortunately, for some, I suspect that Zelensky could end up like that, unfortunately. I feel very sorry for that. I honestly. Can you hear that? Oh, this dripping. My heart is crying. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.